Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, it is truly a pleasure to have you all here today joining this session. Before we begin, let me briefly walk you through the main topics that we are going to cover today, inshallah. This lecture is built around four key pillars. I will start with the introduction, then I'll move on to talking and giving you a brief introduction about yoga, then Reiki, then Theta healing. And finally, inshallah, we'll be talking about the root philosophy behind all of these programs, inshallah. And then we will close, inshallah, bidnillah ta'ala. I'm hoping, inshallah, that I will be able to complete the whole session within 1 hour. I'll try my best, inshallah, bidnillah ta'ala. So, okay, I will start now, inshallah, bidnillah ta'ala. I'm sorry about the slides because I didn't get the chance to translate them in English, but I will mention some of the writings over there. Over the past few years, a wide range of courses and healing programs have rapidly spread across our communities, and I'm talking about Oman especially. Around the world, it has been there for many years, but I'm going to focus on the programs that are being spread across our communities right now. These programs are often presented under inspiring titles such as personal transformation, personal development, inner peace, emotional healing, positive energy, and self-development, as I mentioned. They all promise empowerment, clarity, healing, and a better version of ourselves. And many people are naturally drawn to these kind of courses. And under these appealing themes, we find a variety of practices carrying names such as energy healing, Reiki, Theta healing, energy of the divine names, which is طاقة الأسماء الحسنى in Arabic, energy cleansing, manifestation, yoga, meditation, law of attraction, and there are biofeedback, there is family constellation, timeline therapy, tai chi, yin yang, transcendental meditation, graphology, TFT, EFT. There are so many access bars as well. Miracle work, Silva, mind control. Okay. So for those of you who have heard of these courses and programs may have noticed there are varying opinions about them. Some strongly support them, some oppose them, and there are those who sensed some spiritual or doctrinal concerns, but yet decided to choose the middle path, taking what seems helpful and leaving what appears questionable to them. And for this reason, we are here today to shed light on these practices, to clarify what they truly are, explore the ideas and the belief systems behind them, and highlight their potential risks and dangers, whether spiritual, psychological, or health-related, so that each person can make informed and conscious decisions. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We will start with the dua here. Allahumma arina al-haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'ah wa arina al-batila batilan warzuqna ijtinabah wa la taj'alhu multabisan alayna fanadil waj'alna lil-muttaqina imama. Allahumma amin. I will start with my personal journey. So before we begin, I would like to introduce myself and share with you my personal journey with this topic and what led me to research it in depth. My name is Najma Al Bimani, and nearly 20 years ago, I developed a strong interest in personal growth and self-development. And one of the first courses that I attended It was like many years back. Can't recall now, maybe 20 years back or something. I attended this course. The name of the course was Awaken the Giant Within. And by the end of it was a 5-hour workshop. By the end of the 5-hour workshop, we were told by the trainer to go outside and walk on charcoal. Okay, barefoot, by the way. And we did that. And of course, I got burned. But anyhow, this was one of the courses that I have attended. At that time, I didn't see anything wrong with it. But I do remember noticing a serious conversation between one of the attendees, a man, and the trainer. I couldn't hear the words, but their expressions and body language made it clear that the attendee disagreed with some of the points, I guess. I was surprised for a moment, but I dismissed it. And honestly, I didn't think about it again, not until over 10 years later. Then, after that experience or that program that I have attended, I began reading many books online, especially those that spoke about human potential, self healing, and changing one's reality. And I came across something called theta healing. And at first, I was truly fascinated by it. According to what I read, a human being, regardless of the illness, he could supposedly heal themselves through simple techniques instantly. The idea was astonishing to me at the time, and I never imagined that the matter was far deeper than that and far more complex than it appeared on the surface. But that realization came only years later. I will share you the experience. So one night, while lying down, I decided to try some of the exercises I had been reading about in these books. I had a question in my mind, and I wanted an answer to that question. So I closed my eyes and I followed the exercise and the instructions, and I started asking the question that I had in my mind. Suddenly, something very strange started happening to my body. I felt my body expanding, stretching, swelling. Literally, by the way, I wasn't sleeping, as if something was pushing outward from within. I became extremely frightened and immediately stopped the exercise. Even before this incident, I had started feeling uneasy while practicing the visualization exercises described in those books. The method required me to close my eyes, visualize what I wanted, enter a meditative state, and then ask for whatever I wanted. Something inside me felt off. I didn't feel natural. To me as a Muslim, when we pray, we ask dua, we never go into meditation state. And we don't normally visualize the thing that we want. We just, with humility, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for whatever we wanted. So I felt unease. I felt there's something wrong. And even if while meditating and visualizing, I do mention, of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being a Muslim and praying for that. But yet I didn't feel it was right at all. I felt a contradiction deep inside me. And I kept asking myself, where did our normal, conscious, heartfelt prayer go? Why am I replacing it with meditation and visualization? And after that frightening experience, when my body was expanding, I became confused. And I asked myself, what happened to me? How did my body react like that? And why? That moment was the turning point. By the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I stopped reading those books and stopped practicing the exercises. And alhamdulillah, I never continued into the advanced stages of these techniques, because if I had, God knows, where the path might have taken me. And this brings me to the beginning of my real journey. I began searching for the true nature of these techniques and practices, a journey that lasted more than 10 years. Through God's grace, I eventually found explanations, research, and small booklets online that answered many of the questions that had troubled me for so long. I still remember the relief and gratitude I felt when things finally started making sense. So before we continue with today's discussion, I want to begin by saying I'm sharing this with you not as an outsider, but as someone who once walked towards this field, felt it, experienced its strangeness, questioned it, and then spent over a decade researching it. And I hope that my journey brings clarity, protects others from confusion, and helps every one of us see the truth with insight and understanding. So today, inshallah, I will give you a brief introduction to three of the most popular programs that have spread widely in our communities. These include teachings and activities often presented as healing methods, paths to personal transformation, and even as harmless physical exercises. And I will start with yoga. So yoga had entered our community as a form of stretching and relaxation. Now it is taught in our communities, in gyms, studios, and even at homes. But many people still do not know its true nature, and it is difficult for anyone to realize that some aspects of it contradict with our religious beliefs. So let's see what yoga means. Yoga, in the language of Sanskrit, means union. It's merging and uniting, and like you as a person, you are uniting with the universal self. In other words, we are uniting with God. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. The goal is liberation and union with the divine. It's uniting with what they call Brahman. And these spiritual disciplines, they came from Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. So that's the meaning of it. And yoga is often presented today, as I said, as a harmless stretching exercises, but traditionally the word yoga, as we said, it's a union with the God. And so let's see, I'm focusing on this guy, as you can see in the picture here, Sadhguru. Sadhguru, he is one of the most influential figures spreading yoga worldwide. He has a center, Isha Foundation. He started it in 1992, and he speaks a lot about yoga. And the statue that you see is the Adiyogi, is the first yoga. And he was the one who designed this statue, and then they built it in India. And tourists all over the world, they visit this place. So the Adiyogi, and he talks about this story of Adiyogi. This guy, a Sadhguru, he teaches that yoga is a method to dissolve the self. The practitioner can unite with the source of creation. Human beings can awaken supernatural powers that they have within. And in his own writings, he describes mystical experiences of losing his awareness, his body, and merging with the nature and encountering this Adiyogi, the first yogi, or he calls him Shiva as well. So in his book, Adiyogi, he has a book. The name of the book is Adiyogi, the Source of Yoga. He tells the story of yoga from the very beginning. He says more than 15,000 years ago, in Himalayas, a mysterious being, that's the statue itself, the big statue that I showed you now, Adiyogi. This mysterious being appeared suddenly. It was 9 feet tall, covered in ash, with his flowing hair. Sometimes he would sit completely still, and at other times he would dance. No one had ever seen anything like him. They didn't know who he was, where he came from, or what his origins were. We're talking about 15,000 years ago. And a crowd of people surrounded this creature. And after many long years, people got tired because he just sits there still. And sometimes some tears will fall from his eyes. Finally, after many years, 7 people only stayed. They were determined to wait. So Adiyogi, this creature, he knew that these 7 were the right seekers for the knowledge, and they were ready to take the knowledge. So he decided to transmit yoga, the information of yoga, to these 7 sages. They called them Sapta Rishis. So he began explaining to them the nature of life and taught them the foundations of science. This science is called yoga, the union. The purpose was liberation from physical limitations and psychological bondage, a life of freedom, vibrance, and boundlessness. He declared that this freedom is within the reach of every human being. He found it impossible to transmit everything he knew to one person. So he divided the knowledge among these 7 sages. So these became the 7 foundational forms of yoga. And even today, although yoga has branched into hundreds of systems, it still retains these 7 core paths. He also described 112 methods through which human beings can transcend their limitations and reach their ultimate potential. And he explains in his book that he explains in his book, it's not merely a historic figure or myth. He says that this Adiyogi is not a myth, but he is a living presence that exists, but on another dimension. And mysterious being he encounters within. He channels, I mean, like, okay, I don't know if you know the words channeling. This Adiyogi, like the Adiyogi 15,000 years ago, this creature, the story that I've just told you, actually he speaks within Sadhguru. This is what Sadhguru is saying. And he says that he did not learn yoga through education or instruction, but through this spiritual transmission, which is called channeling. So he becomes a direct channel for Shiva or Adiyogi. Until today. By the way, the book that I was telling you about, the author, she was saying that sometimes she would the information that she gets from Sadhguru is from him, and some other times it is actually from Shiva, Adiyogi, through this channeling thing. Okay. And according to Sadhguru himself, yoga postures are spiritual tools. They're not exercises. They're not stretching as we think. He says that they manipulate the body's energy. They align practitioner with cosmetic geometry. And we can elevate consciousness, connect to the person with higher realms. It connects, in our words, it's like you're connecting to God. Or you can feel the God within you, inside you. And some practices, like they have different names, and they have like hundreds of these practices. Surya Namaskar. This is the sun salutation. This is directly linked to Hindu worship of the sun. Many foundational postures have symbolic and spiritual roots, such as there's another one, which is warrior pose. This is linked to a divine legend. And there's a cobra pose, which is inspired by sacred beings in Eastern religions. They have a lot of myth. And within each posture, they are worshipping a certain god, because they've got like millions of different gods. So people today may not know these origins, but ignorance of the roots doesn't change the reality. So we're not saying that we as Muslims, when we perform these poses, we have the intention to worship, because we thought that they were exercises and they were just stretching exercises. But is it wise to practice a system deeply rooted in religious, of course, other than your own faith, from different traditions like Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, or maybe the Chinese Taoism and others? So changing the names, and some people, what they normally do, they go to these places, and the trainer would tell them like, okay, don't use Om, because they're using the word Om. Don't use Om. You can use Allah. You can use any of your dhikr. Just replace it. But this, unfortunately, does not erase the origins, because it is a spiritual, it is a religion. You cannot change the religion. You cannot say like, you will take today Hinduism and make it and Islamize it, for example. We cannot do that. So it is a religion. So faith is not just good intention, it is choosing a clear, pure path that brings us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or God, without confusion. This is the peace pause, the namaste. The meaning of it is the divine in me honors the divine in you. And we think when we look at these poses, and sometimes we message each other's, unfortunately, this is a symbol which says that, and it has a spiritual, religious tradition. It's not an innocent symbol. And Sadhguru, unfortunately, there is a video, but unfortunately I haven't included this because I've taken these words from the video itself. He says, yoga is not exercise. It is a path to transform you from a creature into the creator. It is not about seeking God. It is about becoming God. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ أَسْتَغْفِرُ اللَّهَ الْعَظِيمُ. And they are health and psychological risks. So these are people, like mixing yoga postures with visualization may cause psychosis. This sentence, I have a video of somebody who is actually, I believe, like he's a monk. He's from the West, but he migrated, it seems, to India, and he became a monk. And he was really furious that people are taking yoga as something spiritual while it is a ritual. And people are taking it, especially like in the Western world, and now we are doing the same. We're taking it as either spiritual or exercises. So he says it has a lot of dangers. People who are, as he says, playing around with these kind of things, they're just reading books here and there or attending these new age practices and doing it, but it causes a lot of psychological issues. And he speaks about awakening Kundalini, and this is very dangerous. Kundalini awakening is described as a powerful force that can cause severe mental and physical harm and can overwhelm the nervous system. And many people have experienced mental breakdowns from yoga meditation. There are testimonies of people speaking and talking about these dangers because you're dealing with something unseen. So you could expect this kind of dangers and risks. So let's move on now to Reiki. Reiki is a Japanese word, and it's made of two parts. Rei means higher divine wisdom. Ki means life force energy. So it's the life force energy of the higher divine. And it is spiritually guided life force energy. Reiki healing is actually entirely based on the belief in the existence of a universal life force energy called Ki, which is considered the source of healing. And they have this concept of etheric body, which is in Arabic we call it al-hala. We will hear people saying al-hala around your body. So there is this etheric body around us, and the chakras, the centers for the energy. These are the entry points of energy. So what the practitioners will be doing is that, as you can see in the picture here, they don't touch the body, they just place their hands on top of the body. So they channel the universal energy. It's like they're focusing and they're doing some practices, symbols, there are mantras, and it's like they are pulling the energy from they're pulling the energy from the universe. It's like they're pulling it into their body and then sending it to the client, or sending it directly to the client from the universe and to the client. If the client is ill, for example, that means to them it's like he has an imbalance. Some of his chakras or the centers of energies, there is a malfunction with it. So this is how you are going to cure the body. So they do the self-healing and they do also the healing on other people. And again, as I mentioned about Sadhguru and the story of Adiyogi, somebody comes with a new practice, and then after many years, everyone takes it and changes it. With Reiki, I'm going to focus on this guy. His name is Mikao Usoi. He is the founder of Reiki, but Reiki was there before him as well. But he changed it somehow, and then his students and so on and so forth. As I told you, everyone takes some and changes it after some time. So there are different schools, as I said, and methods. And this Mikao Osoi, he's from Japan. He was born into a Buddhist family, a religious Buddhist family. And he was deeply involved in metaphysical practices. And he was a member of a group focused on developing psychic abilities. So you can imagine, he was into these kind of things. He traveled through Buddhist temples, studying mystical practices. He was seeking for enlightenment and supernatural understanding of life's purpose. So he went to a mountain in Japan, and he went there. It's like i'tikaf, which is like, I don't know the word in English, but anyhow, i'tikaf meaning you're going to, like the people who are going to masjid and they just, they leave everything, worldly things for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, during Ramadan, the 10 days, the final 10 days, and so on. So he went, it's like i'tikaf, the same thing. He went to the mountains and he was there for 21 days. And he was just meditating, doing nothing. And he got this beam of cosmic light entering his head, and he lost his consciousness. Then he awakened by the universal energy flowing through him. And then he felt merged with the energy of the universe. So this mystical experience became the foundation of Reiki. And while he was the 21 days, he was going back home. On his way, it seems like I think he hit his foot on a rock or something, and he was injured. So when he was touching it, he saw that it was completely healed just by the touch. So he knew that there was this beam of cosmic light energy which entered him, and then he realized that he has something in him. He has something that he needs to teach people about healing. So the Reiki is based on 5 main components. The 5 Reiki principles, they are principles. I'm not going to go into depth in these things, because, as I said, I'm trying to cover 3 topics here, 4 topics. So And then there's attunement. This is what I'm going to focus on, number 2. And then mantras, and then the hand positions, and then the breathing techniques. So let's focus on attunement, because this is what I find very dangerous. Even the mantras, of course, but I'm going to focus on this. So the attunement, this is a ritual that is performed by a trained master when they reach the 3rd level. And the master directly transmits the attunement to only selected students. And in this final stage, only few students are selected, and the true blessings, as they call it, takes place, where one of the jinn, of course, they refer it as an entity, a light being. And this entity is associated with the senior master. It is merged now with the student to assist him in healing. At this point, full occult practices are involved, blending both white and black magic. Unfortunately, so it's like you're communicating with the shaitan, and then you're sending that shaitan to this student by using some these attunements, mantras, symbols. They have different things, different ways of doing things. And also, we can find, like for myself, I was doing this research for more than 10 years. I found many people, and I'm not talking about only Muslims, by the way, because when I started my research, I found, mashallah, from the Christian community, they are also exposing these practices, and they are opposing them. And the churches, in the churches as well, they do the same thing. They call it satanic things and so on, and you're calling upon shaitan, and you're calling and you're saying that you are praying to God and those sort of things. So these are some of the testimonies. Now I've heard this from a Muslim master Reiki trainer who is, alhamdulillah, she's ta'ibah. And she repented from that when she realized what she was doing. And I have invited her on one of the lectures, but unfortunately it is in Arabic. We had an online YouTube, it's on YouTube actually. So she was the master of Reiki. She's an Arab Muslim for many, many, many years. And she went in depth within this Reiki thing. And she says it is sihr. It is you're playing with black magic here, magic. So she says that she heard from the people that she was performing this Reiki on them. She's one person, she has 2 hands, but that person on the table, lying down, they feel like there are many hands over them. Subhanallah. So there are other entities as well are joining that session, and they are performing these healings on this person on the lying down on the table. And the same testimony, I have a video as well on a British guy saying exactly the same thing. He's explaining exactly the same thing, that the people were feeling that there are many hands on them, while the practitioner is only one. Voices speaking through the person. They can hear voices inside them. Entities that remain permanently. They can feel there's always someone. Some people, they see shadows all the time around them. And former Reiki masters, they warn others as well, as I told you, Muslims and Christians. So there is something behind those kind of things. Now, inshallah, we will move on to theta healing. So this picture here, this is the founder of theta healing. Her name is Diana Steibel. And theta healing is a meditation technique and spiritual philosophy founded by this lady, and she's still alive. the techniques used in theta in theta healing, they're using actually a meditation, and they call it theta brainwave state, because you go through this meditation and visualizations where you reach to an altered state of mind where your mind wave goes to theta, and then you start doing the healings. So this technique, it heals diseases, as they claim, change beliefs, reprogram the subconscious mind, and you can manifest new realities, and you can connect to a creator of all that is. She calls the creator of all that is. Okay. So the creator of all that is he Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The creator in theta healing is not God. Is not God in the Abrahamic faith. The creator is a neutral, non-personal, universal energy that people can reach only through visualization and meditation. And according to her, the only way to reach this creator is through a specific meditation. She claims that this meditation was given to her directly by the creator, and he commanded her to teach all the humanity how to connect with him. So she calls it the roadmap of all that is. All that is, that's the energy, that's the creator. In this meditation, the practitioner must use visualization to imagine their consciousness leaving the body and traveling upward through the 7 planes of existence. This is a metaphysical structure or framework that she describes in detail in her books and courses. Only when a person reaches the seventh plane, where she claims the creator resides. And the mind supposedly enter to theta brainwave state immediately. And okay. And yeah, when you reach the 7th plane, the top, where the creator resides, as she says, you give a verbal command or a request to the creator, whatever you want. You visualize the change happening, and you have to visualize what you want. Visualize it as it's happening. And then you have to witness the creator himself performing that healing or creating the outcome that you have requested. The process is completed by saying, thank you, it is done 3 times. It is done, it is done, it is done. So the concept of these 7 planes of existence, this originates from theosophical teachings, Eastern mysticism, and New Age spirituality, not from Islam, not from Christianity, not from Judaism. Okay. And for anyone who may still believe that the creator in theta healing refers to Allah or to the God of the Abrahamic faiths, I invite you to listen carefully to the founder's own words in this video. Her explanation makes the meaning completely clear. Please listen to this.
And then last year, something really bizarre happened. You, my students, asked to know more about the laws of the universe. And when I went up and asked the Creator to give me all the information about all the laws of the universe, I heard this unbelievable laughter. And I thought, maybe you should know more about the planes of existence before you decide to teach about the laws. For the last year of my life, I have been explained how important everything is and how truly divine we are. And I have seen that we are sparks of God and that we can change this planet. Want to play? All right.
Okay. Did you hear that? So she's talking about the Creator. She goes up in her consciousness and she speaks to him. She talks to him. And there is a dialogue between the Creator and her. And she says that I heard this unbelievable laughter, as if the Creator laughed at her request. And then she says, for the last year of my life, I have been explained how important everything is and how truly divine we are. And I have seen that we are sparks of God and that we can change this planet. So definitely, yani, the Creator is something else. Okay. Let's take a look at the most dangerous beliefs in Theta healing. She says, of course, the Creator is not God. She says that humans are co-creators with the Creator. We are co-creator because the visualization, as I have explained to you, when you go through this meditation and then you reach the seventh plane where the Creator resides, and then you start requesting on whatever you want, you have to visualize as if you are creating within your own mind, you're creating the result that you want. And then you have to witness the Creator performing that. If it's healing, you have to watch him heal the person. If you wanted something to manifest in reality, you witness him creating it as well. And of course, using mind power to create, using the visualization. And then there's, in her belief in Theta healing, because I went into depth within Theta healing actually. So the beliefs that she's talking about, changing beliefs, mainly she focuses on our beliefs, like the right, wrong, halal, haram, there is heaven and hell. She called these kind of things dualities, and she calls them drama. And she says that these are the root cause of all the illnesses in the human being. We need to go through this meditation and through reprogramming our subconscious mind to remove all these beliefs and to remove the belief that God is separated from us. We are part of God. And God, yeah, it's like in the end, we are little gods. God is within us. So our belief systems is conflicting with her beliefs. And that is why we are stuck with our limitations. We need to remove all these beliefs in order for us to, to reach the enlightenment. And of course, using this roadmap, as we have seen, she calls it the roadmap to all that is. And she said that it was given by the Creator himself to teach all of the humanity, using this roadmap to make our du'as and prayers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That in itself tells you that this is not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we don't reach to God using this kind of meditation or techniques. And there are also as well testimonies from within the technique. And months ago, or almost a year, I could say, January 2024, I think, I did invite masters who used to be in Theta healing as well. And I invited them on a channel, but again, it's in Arabic. And we had, I invited them to speak about their experiences. They left, of course, and they repented from all these practices. Once they realized what they were doing, they repented. So I invited them in this channel to speak about it. And they mentioned a lot of, unfortunately, health and psychological issues as well that themselves are going through, and that other practitioners they have shared with them. So they speak again about practitioners. They were speaking to unseen entities, and they were hearing instructions from the unseen entities. and some of them one mentioned that he's hearing voices that cannot stop in his mind, commanding him to commit suicide, unfortunately. And some experience psychological effects, some even, unfortunately, physical illnesses. And it's an ongoing thing, unfortunately. So now we will reach to what is behind. What is behind all these things? The New Age movement. In Arabic, it is حركة العصر الجديد. So what is this New Age movement? This is the root behind all of these modern spiritual healing programs or personal development programs. Its earliest roots go back to ancient Gnostic thought. It is called Gnosticism in Arabic, al-Ghunusiyya or al-Batiniyya. And of course, although, as we have seen today, they are presented as wellness, positivity, personal growth, healing, and so on and so forth, they are built on Eastern religions. Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, and also they are built on techniques from the occult, sihr, occult philosophy, Gnosticism, and esoteric mysticism, and theosophy. And we'll talk about theosophy in a bit. Yeah. So before many of these modern programs that we've seen today, such as yoga, Reiki, theta healing, energy healings, and other practices as well, there was a root philosophy that shaped them all, which is called theosophy. Theosophy was the middle. It is the one which connected between the older Eastern occult techniques, Hinduism, Buddhism. These are very old worldly religions. So she took them all, and she was the middle between those ages, the old ages, and the new age, which is the age that we are in now. So this lady, in the 19th century, her name is Helena Blavatsky. She founded this society. She named it Theosophical Society. So she introduced all these Eastern mysticism to the West and then promoted them. And then from the West, they came into to the Middle East. So what they promote and what they teach is that they want one universal religion above, and this one universal religion, she calls it Din al-Hikmah, the wisdom, the religion of wisdom, which is one universal religion, and they want all of us to have one religion. And it's not our religions, no, it is above all our faiths. To her, the prophets, they brought partial truths, not absolute truth. And she has the absolute truth. And human spiritual evolution toward becoming divine. It's like they came to awaken us and inform us because we are ignorant and we think that we are weak creatures and there is a creator out there and we cannot do anything by ourselves. They came to tell us and inform us, because they are wiser than us, that we are actually gods. And we have all these powerful abilities within us. And she takes her information from ascended masters from the Tibetan mountains. These are spirit guides. These are creatures which are unseen creatures, and she takes all this information from them, and then she brings these teachings and she teaches people into these kind of courses. And unfortunately, she has a book. She openly described Lucifer, Iblis, as the real God, as a symbol of enlightenment and inner awakening. He is the one who has the knowledge. And it's, going back again to the first deception of Sayyidina Adam, our father Adam. When we go back to the Quran, and they mention the شجرة الخلد وملك لا يبلى. They are doing the same thing, that you have the power. I'm here to tell you that you have the power. You're not weak. So now it came into programs, positive things. They let you in because you are in need of something. When you are in there, things are changing, unfortunately, and the things that changes is our faith as well. Gradually, you change your faith. Let me see if I have anything else. Yeah, so these ideas, they became spiritual blueprint of the modern New Age movement and deeply influenced practices like the ones I've given a brief introduction, Theta Healing Wiki and Yoga, all of which present spirituality without religion, meditation as a path to divine consciousness, and humans as beings who can merge with the universal energy. In short, we are all God. We need to look inside and not outside. And our beliefs, they are limiting us. They are telling us exactly the opposite, that we are weak and we are all the time needing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I think we came to the end, brothers and sisters. I want to go back to the reason people are drawn into these programs in the first place. It is because every one of us carries something inside, a wound, a memory, a hope, a longing, a prayer. And the world today is full of voices promising healing, voices offering shortcuts to peace, to happiness, to inner strength, to any of the desires that we have. But not every light leads you home, and not every path labeled healing is safe. Real healing doesn't require us to leave our minds or our bodies or our faith behind. Real peace doesn't come from dissolving into the universe, but from standing firmly in who we are, with clarity, dignity, and connection to the one who created us. Thank you all for your time, your attention, and your dedication to protecting your faith and seeking clarity in a world full of spiritual confusion. May God guide your steps, protect your hearts, and fill your life with peace and light. May God show us the truth and guide us towards it, inshallah. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه ولا تجعله ملتبسا علينا فنضل واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. الحمد لله رب العالمين. And I would like to thank the Islamic Information Center for inviting me to talk about this very important and dangerous topic. Thank you, Sister Sheikh Al-Toqi, and thank you to Sister Ahlam.
جزاك الله خيرا يا أختي نجمة. Are you willing to take some questions?
Yes, sure.
Is anybody having any questions?
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I would like to share also my experience. Once, maybe before even the Sadhguru was in the picture as a leader and a known guru in spiritual healing, once they came, one old man from India who was the top yogist, was like 90 years old. I was very young. It's like maybe over 30 years ago. And I had people, they invite me, let's go. There is early morning, there's yogist came and all this. I'm telling you, it was in a hotel. I don't know, in a hotel. There was only one hotel in Rui, and it was for free. So we went early morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning, and the experience I got there after this session, I was ill for 1 week. And in the end, because it was a lot of breathing, a lot of closing eyes, a lot of feeling like you're getting to you need to be, to meditate until you reach to the different level that you connect to the universe. And in the end, we had to laugh. And I looked at the people, they were laughing. I thought like I'm in a world of crazy people, and those Indian or those yogis themselves, who it's their belief, they were laughing, and I couldn't laugh. I was just looking at them, how they can laugh without any reason, and they were laughing until they're almost crying. Anyway, that made me go and look into this yoga. And when I went myself to train as a fitness trainer, I took a lot of other training to include in my training session. And I said, yoga, I'm not doing, because I had a very bad experience. At that time, I didn't even know that it is associated with their belief. And then when I was reading, as you said, I find all this is, all the position is directing to a different deity in their belief, like sun, god of the sun, god of the moon, and all those kind. And then, alhamdulillah, after having a bit more knowledge of my faith told me not to associate anything that is involving in the belief and worship of different than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So because of that, I didn't include yoga. I don't include, and I discourage people to do that. I sit with young people, and they follow this, a lot of them, they say, I'm going to align my need, and then manifest, and I've done this. And I'm saying, is that how are you aligning your need and your desire? And I've got many things by, there is a word, Najma, remind me what they use in alignment. They called like, you focus on that, what you need, and manifest. Yeah, and I manifest many of my needs. And I said, we need to talk to young people, because they get out of the alignment with Allah, and they're aligned by this quick fix, as Najma, you said. They want a quick fix, easy fix, because there is no praying 5 times a day. And there is a lot of people, some people I know, that they've started worshiping Lucifer, and they don't worship God anymore, and it is alarming. And they cannot, even they come to visit you, they cannot leave. They say, I need first to ask my spirit. Oh my God, this is bring Shiva, and it is, I'm not talking in something I've heard, I'm talking in something I have seen in people I know. So Najma, what you're doing, we need to expose this to many audience, and some people, they are not aware, and they just board on any wagon which is easier attainable, and we think like Islam is a very hard religion, there is it gives, but actually, yeah. So anyway, so this is going on, and it makes people, all young people, don't want to pray. Statistics is about 80% of young people, they don't pray anymore. They don't believe that there is, as they put, there is no heaven and hell, there is no judgment, and all this kind of thing.
Subhanallah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing this story with us.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much, Sister Najma, for this very timely and very relevant talk. My name is Aisha Javed. I have been in touch with students while teaching in Sultan Qaboos University. And down the years, I have found time and again students with problems which they didn't know where to go, whom to share with. Definitely not the family, not the masjid, both boys and girls. Now also I'm in touch with adults, and they are all having problems from time to time. These different theories and philosophies which have become so popular today, basically it's the accessibility and availability as compared to any other platform which these people can approach. So my request to you is, since you've done this excellent research and you are putting it forward on YouTube and different platforms, I'm sure, would you consider making this a regular thing or something which people can know about and access as and when they want to? Because for me, it's because I'm so lucky I got a chance to hear this talk. I have no idea what you've been doing. And I would like to share this with the people who come to me for help so they can approach you or other people who can, guide them and who don't tell them, you have to pay 5 times, you don't, so then we can't help you. And you have been cheating, you have been lying, you have been doing this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
It doesn't gel with the youngsters, they have got
Yes, I
into a
understand.
lifestyle. We are in the
Yes.
21st century and they need help. So my
They are
request is,
victims, yeah. Mm.
any address, any number that you could share, which you don't mind people approaching you or others, it would be very helpful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I would say that I would just request you to take my phone number from Ahlam. Ahlam, you can share my
Okay.
number with her, and
Sure.
then we can talk more. You and I,
Thank you.
we can speak
I'll do
more
that.
about this topic.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And by the way, I just wanted to share one thing.
Yes.
It was 1st of November, Saturday. I don't know if you've heard of Diwaniyat As-Sabt. This is like a non-profit organization, and they have requested me on the 1st of November, Saturday, and I accepted, of course, the request. And it was the audience, they were targeting 15 years old until, let's say, the university level, to come over there. And mashallah, there were 100 almost, 100 ladies. They've booked Muscat University because they're moving anyway, any place which will give them a venue or a place to conduct their different topics. So
do they talk according, similar to what you have talked today?
I did. This was the first time from their side, actually, because I asked them before. They said no, your topic no. And then after, subhanallah, months and months and months, they requested me, and they said no, because the requests are coming from the mothers themselves, as you have mentioned now, like the concern. So they requested, why don't you do this thing? Because now it is already there. So anyhow, alhamdulillah, I did that session. And yes, as you said, Yani, some girls, they came to me, tears in their eyes. They're crying because they've involved themselves into something and they've opened themselves into this unseen realm where now they're confused and they say, we don't. It's like, she's like almost crying in front of me. She's like lost. And so, yeah, one after the other, they started coming and telling me this, asking me this. Some of them I've already like on the phone. And I've given them the guidance and so on. And because alhamdulillah wa shukrullah, I do also have those, as I told you, a group of ladies who were in this. They were masters in different yoga, in Reiki, in theta healing. So if I don't have the answers to the questions, I go back to them. I can ask them as well. Yeah. So you can, as I said, you can take my number.
Sure, I'll do that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. Wa
ورحمة
alaikum
الله.
assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khair, Najma, for this talk and for enlightening us with all this information. I know you do a lot of work, mashallah, in Arabic. I suggest for you to do this in English as well. I don't know if you do it in English, because a lot of, we have youngsters and we also have the adults, subhanallah, who are sort of as well, like what Tina said, are escaping the rituals or the the faith of how we do of the system of how we do our things, يعني how we worship Allah, and they want the easy thing. And most of them as well are adults who necessarily don't want to be listening to lectures in Arabic. So I think as well, just an advice, if you can also do this in English to target the adults as well who are falling into this trap. Jazakallah khair.
Shukran. Is it Maya?
Yes, it is Maya.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, Tina, I knew it was you, but when she mentioned the name, I said, because I don't know. Subhanallah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Maya, okay, you have my number, so we can communicate as well and see. Inshallah, I can do both. Yes, in Arabic, English, it doesn't matter. And anyone who wants, like to invite me, they have a venue or something to speak, I can do that.
May Allah reward you. Jazakallah khair.
Inshallah. Jami'an, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Najma, you talked about Asma al-Husna.
I can't hear you, sorry.
About Asma Allah al-Husna.
Yes.
Can you give us any brief on how they use that? Because I encountered somebody that I knew, and she said she'd been to this workshop and it was in Dubai and it changed her life. And I said,
yes, of course.
She said, but I'm worshiping God with his names. How can that be not right? I told her, I don't know, it sounds fishy, a little bit fishy. Why through all of that and paid so much money, and God made his worship easy and free and simple, I didn't know what was about it, but it didn't sound right to me. If you can give us like a brief, if you know how they use Asma Allah al-Husna in this.
Okay. When it comes to Taqat Asma Allah al-Husna, I don't know much about it, but I do understand and I do know how they're using all these kind of things. First of all, as you said, it's fishy. In terms, first of all, now you're mixing Taqa, which is the Taqa in the mystical. Now they brought that and they merged it with Asma Allah al-Husna. Asma Allah al-Husna, we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala using Asma Allah al-Husna. Ya Shafi, Allahumma shfini. Things like those, Ya Razaq, Al-Wahhab, Habli. This is how we do dua. But now we are already shifted to something else, which is called taqa. And this taqa thing, it comes from shaitan directly. And shaitan doesn't mind you use Allah's name, like you've changed the way that the prophets have taught us in the Quran. How do we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how do we use Taqat Asma Allah al-Husna? But to answer your question, like specifically on Taqat Asma Allah al-Husna, I'm ready to invite the Reiki master, the one I already invited before, but she was talking about Reiki in general, to talk about it, because as I recall, and if I'm not wrong, she was the one, unfortunately, who brought it in the Middle East when she wasn't that thing. Because she subhanallah qasdi, she reached the highest level of Master Reiki. I believe she's the top in the Middle East. But then, alhamdulillah, she's ta'iba. Her name is Dana Al-Masri. And you can also follow her up on YouTube. And I do have contact with her. So and the good thing that she can explain it to us, because that is exactly her topic.
She can do it in English. Maybe we can invite her as well.
I'll ask Dana. I believe that she speaks English, but I will ask her, inshallah. And if not, I can also take it from her, and I can do it in English, inshallah.
Brother Isa, you had a question?
I have a question, yes. It's to do with this talk itself. How fast can I download it? I have a big, member of the family that are taking a lot of attention into yoga. I want to circulate this.
So usually put it on YouTube by Monday?
By Monday,
Yeah,
inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Barakallah fiki.
And another question, Sister Najma, you put some references and resources. in one of your slides. Were those references that told you that there was something wrong with the energy healing, or were those the references that you read to involved in this energy healing? This one.
These are the, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, these, most of them, they're opposing and exposing these kind of things. Okay, you can see that most of them are the Arabic resources. And then I have these two at the bottom, Doreen Virtue, and then there is this John Ankerberg show. I really benefited from these two. They are exposing, they are Christians, subhanallah. And this lady, she was involved in yoga as well. And she's talking about it. And she says, subhanallah, she's Christian. And she says, this is shirk. Leave it. And she has written books about these angelic numbers. She was the one, she got it from the shaitan. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ اللَّهُ يَعِزْكُمْ, in the toilet. She explains all that. She was top. Doreen Virtue is very well known. She was a multimillionaire. She lost all of her money from the shaitan because, as she said, she calls it goodies. They're giving her goodies, and then they will hit you. Subhanallah. So anyhow, Doreen Virtue, she has many, many videos online talking about everything, Reiki, energy healing, all these kind of things. And sometimes she cries. She says, please, people, the books that I have authored, throw them away. And then she talked about yoga. She said she threw away the mat that she had. She threw everything away. She was teaching yoga, and yani, subhanallah. So this lady, Doreen Virtue, and this guy, John Ankerberg show, I've started watching this guy, actually. He was inviting all these scholars and people who are exposing these things and trying to get people yani, to go back to Christianity and to leave all these satanic things. So I've learned a lot from this. So these two, they are doing the same work that we are doing. Subhanallah. And then you can see just this Adiyogi thing. This is Sadhguru's book. And then there is this, the Secret Doctrine. No, this is the Helena Blavatsky book. It's all satanic, and she believes that Iblis is God, and so on and so forth. The Theosophy thing. And the rest, Hadola, yeah, the rest are booklets. You can find them online. Dr. Foz Kurdi, she's a female, Saudi Arabia. She is the first, I believe, in the Middle East, the first person in the Middle East to expose about all of these things. I've learned a lot from her books. And by the way, I did invite her once on YouTube. It was during Corona. It was online. And Alhamdulillah, she was there and she was talking about this new age, all of these practices. Dr. Foz Kurdi. And mashallah, yani. So Alhamdulillah, these are the resources that I had.
Like a YouTube channel or something that we can
Myself?
reference? When you said you invited her on YouTube, is it a
And
channel?
no. With Dr. Foz, it was Ghiras al-Nur. You know Ghiras al-Nur? Tina knows, I think, because yeah, Ghiras al-Nur. And then the other masters from the Gulf countries and from Jordan, like the Reiki master, the Theta healing masters, and then the yoga master from Saudi Arabia. These ladies, I've invited them. It was on منصة أصلها ثابت وفرعها في السماء. يعني one of the ladies, mashallah, she has this platform on YouTube, and she agreed that I invite people and we talk about these things. And I can share all these links as well with you, Ahlam. And you can, distribute and send it to others as well.
Oh, Sister Habiba, I don't know if you can read Sister Habiba's comments and just for the last comment, maybe. You tell us something.
Unfortunately, I haven't.
Yeah, just stop
Sister
sharing.
Habiba is here?
Yes. You can stop sharing your slides and
Habiba
then
Al-Hinai, okay, yeah. I see that being 25 today doesn't feel anything like what our parents experienced at the same age. We are caught between tradition and the modern world, trying to balance who we are with who we are expected to become. Every day, we are introduced to new energy healing trends that promise comfort, purpose, and relief from the pressure and stress of modern life. But without realizing it, subhanAllah, we slip into paths that conflict with our faith, confuse our beliefs, and leave our hearts vulnerable. Yeah. So Habiba is 25.
no, she says
Yeah.
25 now
She's
is
20.
not like before.
I see that being 25 today doesn't feel anything like what our parents. Yeah, she's 25 years old. Okay, I thought Ada Habiba. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. But I don't know, Habiba, if you're listening to me, I hope that you know at least the difference between these energy healings and the other. From the other normal courses that are not involved in, taking us away from our religion.
What will the young ones be attracted to these kind of things and not into a salah
Yeah,
or just
you,
yeah.
unfortunately, what? I can't hear you. Sorry, Ahlam.
I'm saying what makes them attracted to these kind of healings, energy healing, whatever, and not into salah and worship as God wanted it to be. And
I
what
believe
makes
the way, yeah, I understand your question. First of all, I've noticed that theta healing, I think 30s above. But yoga, because it comes into like relaxation, meditation, like stretching exercises. Yes, because it's in the gym, it's that kind of thing. It attracts more different ages, even the youngs. And then when it comes to what really attracts them, I do believe that, because at this age, you have many goals you want to achieve. Money is one of them. Well, I mean, here we're not talking only about the healing. Healing maybe the elderly, I don't know, but the youngs, they are to manifest anything you want. You want to succeed. You want to get, I don't know, higher grades. You want to get money. You want to get a high position. You want to get certain thing, a husband, those kind of things. And then they tell you that you will get what you want exactly. Of course, it will attract you. It will move you towards that side يعني. But unfortunately they don't know the other side of it, and shaitan كالعادة shaitan doesn't, he will just give you. That's why when these people go, as Tina mentioned at the beginning here, like you go there and those people, they feel, I think Tina mentioned that, I'm not sure, you feel relaxed, you feel good. Some people, they feel that, they say, yeah, I had pain and it's gone completely when I attended this kind of practice, or I did have a goal and subhanallah, I've achieved my goal through this meditation. This is the game of shaitan. So number one, we need to understand the game of shaitan around us as well. For the youngs, I believe they need a specific course. The one I did for Diwaniyat al-Sabt, that was perfect for their ages. And when it comes to salah and so on, of course, we know, because it's takalif. You have to do this, and then we don't put it in a way like khushu'. And the way those people, they come to you and they give you these things, meditation, and the speakers, they have this charisma, the way they speak. They really attract you into things. But if we change the way we speak to the youngs, I believe, yani, inshallah, they will understand. And because, they are going there, they are shifted, and they are pulled towards those things because they want something good for them, for themselves. The intention is so good. They want something good. They go there, unfortunately, يعني one way or another, they will be in a more difficult situation than before attending these courses, because the shaitan, they will start, putting diseases here on them, creating a lot of issues between them suddenly and their parents or whatever. Suddenly they get fired from the job. Suddenly, يعني بصراحة, I've heard about stories like Abu Faisal. You can see here قناة سحر اليوغا والطاقة on the screen down there, the second bottom on the right. Abu Faisal, he invites people. Ahlam, I mean, you will cry about the stories. A man was crying. I've never heard a man crying like that. He lost everything when he started getting himself into these kind of things. He's lost. I heard him live because it was Ramadan and he invited him. So he keeps his channel open sometimes, I believe, for anyone who wants to, just like TikTok it was. And I heard him, it was like 2-3 وقت هذا من قيام الليل for some time. The guy was khalas. He said he lost everything. He was married, he got divorced. He has a master's degree. He was top in his job. He lost his job. He goes from one place to another place. Everybody says no. He says, I've never in my life humiliate myself in front of somebody. I almost kissed their feet to give me the job. Then he moved to his parents' house because he lost everything. When he moved there, the problems and the issues, he brought them in with the family. He says, I'm isolating myself in a room now and I cannot stop. I'm talking to you people. I'm telling you my stories. And he says, I'm moving left, right, and center. I cannot stop. I don't know what to do. So Abu Faisal invites a da'i or da'iyah in the session as well to just tell them, because here Shaitan starts coming and tells you like, see what you did. Ashrakt billah. Now see what's going on with your life now. And slowly, the thought of committing suicide. And this is like everywhere from Muslims and non-Muslims, by the way. Within my research, the committing suicide thing is from them. Unfortunately, they hear voices, they feel khalas, iktiab, they feel like they lost. So they need people surrounding them to remind them that Allah ghafurun rahim. Subhanallah, it's really painful. The stories that I hear, it's really painful. And both, by the way, not only from the Muslims, I do have even videos from the non-Muslims. They're saying the same thing: divorce, lost money. Once they entered these things, at the beginning, it's nice, beautiful, you get things, and then khalas, they start hitting you.
And then, like, when you get into this, is it because of peer pressure? Probably some of your friends are dragging you into it, or is it because of advertisement that are going on? I mean, what makes you get involved into this to begin with? I mean, attend something like this, yeah.
All of what you said, because we, as I said, every one of us has something. Either a pain you want to get rid of, or God forbid, الله يشفينا ويشفي جميع المسلمين والمسلمات وكذا, disease, and you don't get cure from it, or you have goals or desires, and this is our nature. So these things, they target exactly what people need. This is what a human being needs. So I'm going to target and say this. And then everywhere, imagine how many information that you are getting on a single day. And then some people, yes, as I know that some for myself, I mean, like my own experience, I dragged my sister into this. I told her, do you know what? Because I was very naive. And then, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this. And then she looks at me and she started reading the books as well. Unfortunately, but alhamdulillah wa shukrulillah, she stopped. And for her, she has seen like more negative things maybe than me. Yeah, so this is how we do it. I will drag another person. Why? Because again, these people, all of us, we do have good intention. I do understand, because I was there. All of us. Somebody will come and tell you a technique like theta healing. You will be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She talks about the creator and this and that. And then you go in like theta healing. I'm working on a research on theta healing, on a lecture إن شاء الله يعني بإذن الله تعالى يا رب إذا أحيانا الله soon يعني. It's crazy. I get almost like tired and sick reading the books, her books. And the stories, it's based on her own experiences, and she's talking to these unseen يعني شياطين وكذا, and she gets information and she builds her whole system from dreams, inspirations that comes through dreams. And from this goddess and that goddess, from the Hawaiian, from this, the stories are so, subhanallah. I will send you the link, inshallah, when I start doing those lectures as well, inshallah. So this is what attracts people. وعليكم السلام.
عندي مداخلة. I have a sister who went to some kind of gathering related to this kind of energy things. So she went there and she told us she left immediately after the session, of course, because after the session they told them you cannot pray or touch water, something like that, for 5 days. And she said, if I cannot do wudu and I cannot touch water for 5 days after that session, that means I cannot pray. How am I going to be able to pray if I'm not going to touch water? And then there are lots of Omani. She was surprised. There were a lot of Omani ladies in that session. They told her, yeah, it's okay. For only 5 days. وما عرف ويش. يعني كأنه they were trying to convince her, إنه that is okay. You see, here in Oman, I was told, when she explained, she told me that she left and she was like, these people are crazy. How can they fall under that trap of, this is shirk, this is شوية شوية عبدة الشياطين يعني صاروا. هذول الموجودين they are very يعني يروحوا دايما في هذه السيشنز. فصار مثل هي تقول مثل عبدة الشياطين. It became like worship the devil يعني. فهذا الأشياء ليش موجودة? Why is it they are exist in Oman and we cannot do anything about it? يعني how can we eliminate يعني to stop them being there? يعني is it هل government ولا they don't know that these things exist? How can we tackle it from the source يعني بدل ما يكون. Of course, this is important in we educate our children.
Understand. Yes, I do understand.
This is very, very important what you're doing, and but we need to also go extra mile.
Exactly. From the root, يعني. You're talking about the root cause. We should stop it.
It's not outside. And مثلا she did not go abroad to attend these sessions.
Exactly.
They are in Oman, and somebody is telling you not to touch water for 5 days. يعني سبحان الله.
The trainer is Omani? Sorry?
I'm not sure about the trainer. I can ask her. I can
Muslim.
I can tell you more detail if you want. I can contact her.
You can exactly. You can take my contact from
I will.
I have one thing to add. You know, we cannot just stop everything, because we can stop people locally, but these things are online. They're advertising on, and so they can attend also on video. They can attend on Zoom as we are attending now. The most important is to ground our children to the oneness of Allah, and that their iman is stronger. Only what save us who's been touched by this or knowing is by having that faith which was slightly bigger than others. If you don't have that faith, then you start visualizing and saying, I'm aligning my needs and all this. As Najma say, all they go for young people, not they're sick. They want instant gratification. They want quick success. And of course, our religion, you have to do wudu and you have makeup, and this one you can do even at any situation. You can do in the toilet, you can do anything. And the thing is that once you attend, it possesses you, because the demon will be with you. And that what if you don't go back, they start causing trouble in your family, in your work and everything. Otherwise, you need to stay there. It's same thing as the devil worshippers, those Freemason. Freemason, if you want to exit, they can kill you. You know,
Yeah.
when you're in, you're in. And if you want to detach from them, they can harm you. They can, and also they have that. I wasn't recruited by, they called it secret society, and I didn't know. I went to the women group, and I was talking, and the lady was here from Canada, and she got my number from the group and say, "You look like a very intelligent person, and all this. I would like you to be my friend. I would like to invite you." And I'm like, "To invite me where?" And then she said, "I'll send you information about this group, and it's happening in somebody's house in Adeba, and a lot of Omani." And she's telling me a lot of Omanis are coming and all this. And I said, "What is this group?" "Okay, send me information." And then she said, "But I said, weekend." At that time, I had young kids. I said, "Weekend is time I have my kids. Is it allowed to come with the kids?" She said, "No, no, no, you cannot come with the children." I said, "Anything weekend I cannot do if it doesn't involve kids, because that's the time with my children." And that was just, I was missed by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So she
Allah.
sent me the information. And then she said, they have to read your profile, and they can decide whether you will be accepted or not. And once you're there, you have to keep the secret, and you cannot tell anyone, and you cannot you cannot remove yourself from membership after you've become member. Subhanallah, I got this information, and then I start shaking when I'm reading from email. When I said I cannot, they really, they hacked my email, and all the information was gone, including all my information from my email. So my email was completely attacked, and it was all closed, and I couldn't even rescue things I had in my email. Completely wiped out. And this is in Oman, and it happened, the house is in Adeba, but I'm talking, this is like 17 years, 18 years ago when I just came back. And so to say we can stop, it's very difficult, but we need to educate. We need to equip our children to things that it can protect them, because we cannot protect with the whole world.
Sister Tina, I'd like to add to what you're saying. You're absolutely right, but I feel that as elders, we have to have the tolerance, and we have to give the youngsters the confidence that we are willing to go with them. We should accompany them, we should be with them when they attend these sessions, have the tolerance not to be judgmental, come back and then have a talking session with them. But that is very rare. Most parents I meet, elders I meet, they are critical, they are judgmental, they are saying they should be banned. It's impossible in this day and time, as you said. Everything is available online. And we need to give the youngsters the feeling that we are supporting them. The more we support them, the more they will be exposed. And once these various theories are exposed, that is when the youngsters will sit up and take notice. Not by us saying this is good, this is bad. Those days are over, I feel. What do you think?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I add something?
So, well, because it's half an hour above our time.
Okay. We're done?
Yes, I think we stop at some point because we can go on forever.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. So if you want to conclude with a dua, Sister Najma, or
I would just say inshallah يعني بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا. يعني may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يعني protect us from misguidance in any way. Our intentions are all right, subhanallah, but يعني sometimes we really fall into these the trap of shaitan, and sometimes it is very difficult to get out of it يعني. So if we make dua all the time, ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا, all the time, all the time, all the time, subhanallah, inshallah. And thank you so much. Thank you for everyone who shared, for everybody who attended and listened.
بارك الله فيكم.
جميعا إن شاء الله وإياكم في ميزان حسناتكم إن شاء الله.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اجعل اجتماعنا هذا اجتماعا مرحوما من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل منا ولا معنا آثما ولا محروما. والحمد لله رب العالمين الذي عافانا مما ابتلى به غيرنا وفضلنا على من فضيلة. Thank you all and see you again next time.
إن شاء الله إن شاء الله.